All right, great Tuesday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Cesar Masporo Jr. in with our 15 Minutes to Mastery, brought to you by Manufacturing Sales Mastery. 15 Minutes to Mastery, which we do each and every day to get you some information, inspiration, and motivation to get your day started off on the right foot. And today we are on episode 328. And this week we're going to continue on with time management, maximizing your time, everything that you can to make sure that you are operating on all cylinders and being as efficient, as effective as possible. So, yesterday we got into this topic, and yesterday we were talking about prioritizing your task and what's most important, things of that nature. So, I got some questions, I got some messages asking, how do you prioritize your tasks in manufactured home sales? So that's a great question. We're going to go into that. And John Maeda writes, people who can focus get things done. However, people who can prioritize get the right things done. And I think that we can all agree that we all want to be doing the right things, right? People who can focus get things done. People who can prioritize get the right things done. So you, my friends, I'm sure want to get the right things done. And I can remember, well, I'm going to give you two instances, right? The most recent in starting Manufactured Home Sales Mastery back in April of 2023. Man, there was so much that needed to get done. It was a one-person operation, right? And I'm over here trying to get all these things knocked out, building websites and building funnels and creating the courses and everything else that goes along with it to make sure that we are operating and providing what is needed for our clients. So not only that, but then learning how marketing works and all of these different things that for a business, right? I know how the marketing works on manufactured home sales, but running a business, learning all of these things, it's just it was overwhelming and so many things to get done, right? And then, oh, by the way, you guys noticed a new background. Yeah, we're actually doing this from our office space now. Got to work on the lighting, a lot of lighting up in here. So we'll get that figured out. I'm noticing as we record this. But anyways, listen, that was in starting the business. Now I go back to when I was selling homes. My gosh, I know that there's so many things that you need to do as a professional housing consultant, especially for you community managers out there. That not only are you trying to sell homes, but you've also got a community to run. There's always something that needs to get done. There's so many things that have to get done. And if you just work off a to-do list, well, you're never going to feel that you're going to get ahead. I remember working off to-do lists. I got to get this, for like 200 items done, right? And just didn't feel like I was getting anything accomplished. Working 18 hours, 20 hours a day for months straight, and just it just felt like it was there. Maybe that's why it took us so long to be able to get clients who started to work with us. I told you guys before, you've heard me say it before, it took us 7 months before we started to bring any money in. And I'm sure it was because of me and that I wasn't prioritizing the right things. So that's why I wanted to come in and share this with you so that you can avoid those pitfalls and so that you can move quicker and more efficiently and be more effective as you move along in your career, no matter if you just started or if you've been doing this decades. Okay. Now, we all know that in manufactured home sales, like I mentioned earlier, man, there's so many things that can happen. And then, and then you throw in on top of that a walk-in that you weren't expecting, and you have to spend time with that person. And let's say they actually end up buying a home. Let's say they don't buy a home and you still spend an hour and a half with them for whatever reason. But they're waiting an hour and a half that you're behind now and needing to catch up and doing other things. But let's say you do end up selling them. You're with them 3 or 4 hours and you had all of these things that needed to get done. Not to mention leads that need to be called, follow-up that needs to be made, marketing that needs to happen, the training that you need to continue to do, everything that goes into it for your community managers, maybe things that are going on with the community that need to get handled, right? Service items that need to be addressed, all of these things, residents coming in and taking up your time. Whew, my gosh, it could be a lot, right? So my question to you is, Are you focusing on the tasks that move the needle forward? Because that would be prioritizing. Focusing on those tasks, because like the quote says, scheduling is important, right? It's important, but without prioritizing the tasks based on what's important and the impact that it's going to have on you, the impact it's going to have on your production, and the impact it's going to have on your paycheck, right? Those are if you're not prioritizing based on those things, you're going to have a career full of frustration. But when you prioritize on those things, the importance, the impact, that's when you're really going to set yourself apart. Okay. And so that means spending your time on your high value activities or your high leverage activities. I mentioned them to you yesterday. We're going to review them again today. So, because I feel that it's very, very important that you understand what it takes for you to be able to prioritize what needs to get done on the daily basis. So, whether you're a community manager, or a professional housing consultant, sales leasing agent, whatever it may be. If maybe you're not a manufacturer home sales, maybe you're in some other type of sales role, whatever it is, here are your high value activities or high leverage activities. First and foremost, it's your marketing. You got to make sure that the word is out there on what it is you're selling. For those of you that are selling manufactured homes, posting your ads for yourself. Your company may be posting ads already. There may be marketing plans in place through corporate or whatever, whomever is running that, but you should be marketing yourself as well. Even if you're not allowed to market through Facebook Marketplace, marketing through Facebook itself, marketing on your social media platforms, getting the word out, shooting videos, putting them out there, stories, all of these things. Marketing, number one. Second high value or high leverage activity for you is going to be your follow-up. The calls you need to make to set the appointments to get people in the door, whether it's old leads, new leads, whomever it may be, that follow-up is super important. Third high value, high leverage activity that is important for you is going to be pushing the pipeline. What existing deals do you have in your pipeline? Getting those done, knocked out, closed, and out of your way so that you can move on to new business. And as we go along with these and into the new year, we're going to really dive into what it takes to be able to get these things knocked out, right? And moving these deals forward, working tasks to completion. But anyway, right now we're talking about prioritizing what you're getting done. So we mentioned marketing, follow-up, and then the third right now was pushing your pipeline. The fourth thing is going to be your training, your personal development, your professional development, making sure that that is in place each and every day. You have to do that no matter what level of seniority you may or may not have. It does not matter. You could be the owner of the location. You, my friend, should be the one that is most engaged in learning because you lead by example. All right. And when you do these things, now you operate at a different level. And that's what separates the high performers. Who in here wants to be a high performer? I'm sure that you want to be a high performer. I'm sure that you want to be someone that is operating at a high level. You want to be someone who is getting the things done for yourself and for your company and for your family and for your loved ones, right? And so all high performers, they all know that not all tasks have the equal value of importance. Right? They are able to prioritize in order to work smarter, not harder, as we say, right? But instead, they're working through the things that are high leverage, high value activities that bring them closer to the end goal. That's what you're after. And that's why they always seem to get more done in the same amount of period as you. That's why they always seem to have better income than you, even though you're in the same office, have the same financing, have the same homes available, have the same everything, but they are doing more, doing better. But it's simply because they are prioritizing their tasks based on what is most important. And that's why you need to get that done. So how is it that you, my friend, can get that done? We're going to discuss that here. Yesterday, we mentioned to you the Pareto principle, or in other words, what we call the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, the 80-20 principle. That means that 80% of your production is going to come from 20% of your activities. And that's why it's so important that you are prioritizing the right 20%, because there's only so much you can get done in a day. So prioritizing based on the 80-20 principle is going to be so important. What are the 20% of things that I can get knocked out today, of the things I need to get done? What is the 20% that's going to generate the most return? That's what you got to look at, right? And you rank those by urgency and importance. Make your list. What is urgent and what's important? And what is urgently important? That's where you start. You start there and work the other way. But you've got to make sure that you're operating in this manner, right? The other thing is limit your to-do list. I cannot stress this enough. I'm here to tell you right now, when you are selling, really in anything, okay, whether you're building a business or you're selling or you're in a relationship, your parent, your student, whatever it is that you do, truly, there are only 5, maybe 6 things that you can completely 100% get done in a day from your to-do list or your task list. So you've got to make sure that you limit that task list. You may have 50 things. You're a community manager. You may have residents so-and-so with this and this is wrong over here and we got potholes over there and the pool this and all of these things, right? You got a list a mile long. You've got to take your top 5 for that day, and those are the ones that you're going to get done so that you can still focus time in on marketing, follow-up, pushing pipeline, and training. You've got to be disciplined and limit your to-do list. Or you all may be familiar with when I post the time I get started, and my first comment off of that is win the day. You've got the win the day podcast that you can go check out from Andy Frisella. That's where I got that from. Andy Frisella is a great business entrepreneur, got a lot of great ideas out there, got a lot of great things that we can use, that you can use even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're just a salesperson. There's a lot there for you to take advantage of. Go check out Andy Frisella and look for his Win the Day podcast. And that's where he explains this whole task list of your top 5 things that can be done, right? And so there's that, limiting your task list, and then time blocking for priorities. This is something that I'm now using more and more of. I mentioned to you yesterday that I went in on Sunday and really blocked out my time from here on out, especially for the weekdays. Weekends are a little tough just because I've got with the kids and I may have soccer here and football there and whatnot. So, but I really, because of that, I really need to make sure that I am time blocking during the week to get as much done as humanly possible. And tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we're going to dive deep into time blocking. So don't you worry, we're going to get into that for you in our 15 Minutes to Mastery tomorrow on Wednesday so that you can see what we're talking about and how to get that done. Plus, don't forget, we got an event coming up in November where we're really going to dive into that. And lastly, just like yesterday, the 5th thing is review and adjust daily. That means daily. Here it says regularly, but that means daily. You should review and adjust daily. At the end of the day, take a look at what you got done, what you didn't get done. Why didn't you get it done? How much of a priority is it? Or is it something that can be moved back to later because there's a different priority that needs to take place, that needs to get done tomorrow? But you need to review and adjust daily. If you're not doing it daily, you're going to fall that much further behind. You're going to push yourself more and more further and further away from operating in this manner, and you're just going to get yourself into more of a stressful mode and not getting the things done, not making the progress, and not achieving everything that you can, and thus stressing because you're not going to have the income that you know that you could be having and everyone else around you that is a high performer is. So go out, make sure that you are starting to prioritize. I encourage you, I highly encourage you to save this episode to your favorites somehow, man. Copy the link, make a list, put this link in there so you can come back and review this thing time and time again until you get it right. Plus, don't forget, in November, we're going to have a 2-day event where we're going to help you do time management, time blocking, prioritizing, and also planning out 2025 and the rest of 2024. There'll be 6 weeks left in the month at that point in time. So really 2024 is going to be about done at that point in time, but it's really about focusing in on 2025. And I'm excited to bring that to you guys. But for now, take this, run with it, start to prioritize your tasks daily, and watch how much different you operate, how much more you can actually get done and not be worn out. You know why you don't get worn out? Because you're going to be excited that you're actually getting a lot more done than you used to. Go out, kick some butt, make the most of today and each and every day. And if there's any way that we can help you out here at Manufacturing Home Sales Mastery, that's what we're here to do, because we want to make sure that we are helping you take your life, your business, your career to a whole new level. So reach out to us at Manufacturing Home Sales Mastery, where we are here for you. You guys have a great Tuesday. We'll be talking again tomorrow or throughout the day. Reach out to us, man. We're here to help. But until then, my friends, as always, I can't wait to meet you.